It's another fantastic edition of the Archive right here in Nashville, Tennessee. Fans, thank you again for taking a look at our humble podcast here in the Archeons studio. We have some very cool friends joining us today. It's another artist spotlight with some great content creators. So we're going to tell you about some wonderful things they're doing in the world. Mr. Trey, who do we have in the studio with us today?
So we got Red Drop CLIQUE.
What's up?
Yeah.
We're doing this.
Hell yeah.
What's going on?
So yeah, go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Hello everybody, my name is Lil STORMY.
Alright.
I'm Elijah, that's just what I go by.
I'm going by Lucid.
Ghosteo right here.
And Lil Trauma.
Hell yeah. Cool. Yeah, so we played a show with you guys. What was that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
I walked in like right during y'all set and I was like, oh, this is crazy. This is my scene. I wasn't expecting it, like with what was performed.
Yeah, right.
I was like,
We
this
were in
is
the back
nice.
just like
Fuck,
bumping y'all stuff. It was
down.
awesome.
Hell yeah.
Comparatively to a DJ, that was a lot better for amping up the crowd.
Oh,
and everything.
Yeah. Hell yeah. It's cool to hear. Yeah, it was fun. It was cool to hear some other genres and shit too. So I guess let's just start off with the big one, with the Red Drop CLIQUE. So how did that all?
Oh man. It was me and Lil Trauma here. I came up with Red Drop because Red Drop refers to like lean, you know, like the drink. So it refers to that, but I made a song years ago whenever I wasn't named Lil STORMY. It was called Red Drop. And I thought that would really sound cool. Red Drop CLIQUE, put a bunch of people together who make the same or kind of different type of music. And so we thought of it, Red Drop CLIQUE, made a little cover for it, and boom, 20 minutes of talking about it, it was a thing.
Yeah, hell yeah. That was when, what'd you go by, Millie H?
I went by Millie H.
Yeah. And then
I
you
did.
switched to, so why'd you want to switch?
Millie H was, I put that in a rap name generator.
Oh yeah.
That's how I came up with
So you're like,
Millie
oh, it's
H.
not good
And I
enough.
was like, that fucking sucks. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, that fucking sucks. That's stupid. But my uncle used to call me his little storm, so I was like, I'll be a little stormy.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
That's dope.
That was a cool little name.
Yeah. And so then how'd you get like everybody else on the?
We basically like, cause me and Stormy kind of have like the same dynamic of just like sound and stuff, and so he was like, I'm gonna work on the cover art and get everything up and going. You go out and find some people that are really gonna fit into the clique and that really like match our vibe and our message and stuff. And I'd already been in a label with these guys called Covensteed for a minute. And that kind of like spread out and branched off, and I was like, well, it's time for something new, I guess. And so I pulled in Elijah and then called in our friend Kessie. Shout out to Kessie, he's in California right now. But Kessie, and then I pulled in Lucid and Ghosteo a couple freaking weeks ago. But we've just been grinding it out. But that was kind of my part of the whole thing, was like kind of choosing the ones that would have the best sound for it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
What's up. It's crazy how short you guys have been together, because at the show that we played, like the energy was phenomenal. That's what I love. Like, dude, they're just getting the crowd going.
Yeah.
That's like, that was like my fourth show at least. I've been playing at, that was like my third show at the end, and then I moved to Denver previously this year, and me and my old roommate Ricky, we had played a show at the Roxy, and so I had gotten a little bit more comfortable on stage, and you had played like 1 or 2 shows before, yeah?
I've played a lot of shows, but they've all
So
been
he's
like
played a
really
lot.
small shows,
Yeah.
like record shops and shit. I've never played at like a venue.
Yeah.
This was only the second show I've been on.
Hell
It's
yeah.
crazy, dude.
Yeah, because I saw you guys all kind of like dropped EP. You dropped one in 2019, your EP.
Yeah, Hearts Like Glass.
Hearts Like Glass, yeah. Which I saw the dedication for that too. That shit hit me.
Yeah,
hard
dude, that
for,
was pretty.
For Bella Rose.
Yeah, man,
Yeah,
that
that
was
was crazy.
hard as fuck.
I know that was pretty. So was that pretty recent? And,
Yeah.
Oh, extra recent.
Real
Yeah.
recent. I was out in Colorado, and I just got a text one day from my dad, and he was like, hey man, what are you doing? And I was like, going to work, like just chilling.
Yeah.
And he was like, Bella's gone, she hung herself. And I was like, fuck. Like, my best friend since senior year of high school freaking sat next to me at my graduation, woke up whenever I woke up to her, like, looking over me after my 2 heart surgeries. Like, this girl was freaking everything to me. And she passed away, or June 22nd is when she died. And then I was supposed to, I had like shows and everything going on in Colorado, and I kind of like dropped all that, hopped on a plane because my brother bought me a ticket, and flew out here for the funeral, and then spent like the weekend, and I was like, I can't fucking go back, like shit.
Yeah.
And so.
But that's cool to like dedicate, you know, keep people living on through music. And I saw you had the music video, which you directed.
Yeah. We put that together just going around to parks, like literally like not even 5 minutes away from our house.
Yeah.
And just walked around and shot, and it was a good time doing that, and you know, he got to release a lot of stuff, and it was a great experience in that
For
with
sure.
them.
Yeah, she was like the first one I ever buy a concert ticket. Like she was just there at the beginning, so it was just even at the show I almost lost it.
She was there at the last show. Like I
was.
remember sitting with her in
First
India,
and last
just chilling. Next thing you
There's
know,
a picture on my profile,
Damn.
actually, with all of us in it, and she's in
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, she came to the first show at the end, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
with us. Yeah.
that was crazy. I'll
Yeah.
never forget, like, Grace, she was crying at work, and nobody had any idea why. And it was so
Yeah.
toxic, too, because, you know, somebody's crying at work, and they're just making fun of her.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what's up. And then we hear about that, and everybody felt
Yeah,
mad
yeah,
that, you know,
right.
They were so bad. Like, it was toxic, bro, but that was bad.
Yeah, but like says, you know, you guys got each other and shit, and so that's cool to, you know, like do shit like that and keep somebody's memory alive and everything.
put it-
Yeah,
put it in
that's
music.
our
Yeah.
that's our goal.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Definitely.
So, and then you got a new, is it an album or an EP
Album,
coming
yeah,
out? The
yeah,
19th.
Punk Star,
Yeah.
Punk Star, yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's who that
I did a little promotion a couple of weeks ago through this guy called Young Cortex, who did some stuff for Lil Peep.
Shout out.
And
Cortex.
yeah, shout out Cortex. And I had this guy named Curtains hit me up, and he was like, "Hey man, like I found your shit on Young Cortex's page. I really fuck with it. Do you want to do something?" I never respond to messages like that. I got Elijah and a list this long of producers I can go
Yeah.
through like that. So I was like. Took a couple hours, like didn't really think about it, and then I was like, this kid's still freaking pushing at me, so I like, clicked on his website, and the first song that I listened to was that Kids song that we performed. That was our finale, the Stay Together for the Kids sample, and Blink-182 is my Jesus. Like, I fucking love Blink-182, so as soon as I heard that, I was like, no one else is doing this. I haven't heard a single rapper or hip-hop artist do something so far back. They've always just tried to sound like it, so it was really cool to like dig through. So on that album there's like 3 or 4 Blink samples, and then like a Real Friends, and so it's just really what I was like inspired on even before I got into rap. So I was like, holy fuck,
Yeah,
like, this
that's
is the
dope.
best of both
Fuck
worlds.
yeah. That was a cool thing, like when I was going through your guys' shit and everything, is you're all kind of, you have like the influence from, you know, like shit that we listen to.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was cool, like My Chemical Romance and, you know, Day to Remember and everything. Yeah.
Under Oath. Lots of Under
Yeah,
Oath.
growing up, I didn't even like really listen to rap. I mostly listened to hardcore and punk.
Yeah.
And, like only recently, within the past couple of years, I've actually listened to rap like heavily.
Yeah.
And like I was like underground bands from Nashville and like everything. I had a buddy that would shout out Tommy.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that would show me like all these different bands and stuff, and we really loved it. And a few of them have played through the end where we played at.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. And you play guitar too, right?
Yeah, a little bit. I dabble in
into it. Yeah.
I can do some chugs. I have this one song that I can play that I wrote.
Right.
Other than that, like not too much.
You gonna
though.
throw any in some music?
Actually, I
We've thought about it a couple times.
yeah, and I've tried. I have a project on my laptop that hasn't been touched in months that I recorded a little bit onto for my guitar.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. That'd be dope.
We
Yeah,
definitely need to do something like that.
yeah,
For
we
real.
do. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, just take like the, you know, rock and metal influence and blend it in and
That's so fun.
yeah.
Put in. I made a beat. I think it's for you too. Didn't I give it off to you? I think I sent it to you. But it's
Giving me a couple hardcore beats, actually. Yeah.
it's like a breakdown, like metal breakdown. I took that guitar riff in there and just broke it down, chopped it up, sampled it, and then put in like some heavy 808s
Yeah,
in it. It
fuck
was
yeah.
nice. I loved it, bro. It was
Well,
cool.
that shit's always cool. Like even going back way back in the day with like when Lil Jon did like Crazy Train. You know, he like sampled that shit.
Honestly,
Forgot about that.
Yeah.
He's the goat at hype shit.
Yeah, dude, like that.
He's the go-to for anything.
Yeah.
Like, you want hype? Go to Lil John.
Yeah, right. I know. Yeah. So actually, go into that, like working together and like exchanging beats, and so how does all that?
Usually, I mean, these guys just cop like beats from somebody else, but sometimes they'll sit with me. Like when I think he was actually the first person to find me out.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, he was the first person, and it's on like my heaviest track too. It was an experimental track, super heavy, distorted, nasty. And I just put it out there because it was the most experimental that I liked. You know what I'm saying? And he had came to work, and like he was like, "Yo, you need to check out my music and shit." And I look on his followers, and he's the first person I see. I was like, "Yo, your people mess with my people." He's like, "That's my blood brother, bro."
Hell yeah.
And yeah, it was just a crazy coincidence that he started working with me. So after that, I produced him a few beats, and then
I think we got like an EP out together. It's
Yeah.
like all you,
For
all the
sure.
way through.
Yeah, Elijah's crazy.
Yeah, Elijah's
So,
the fucking
like,
goat.
It doesn't sound like a beat somebody just produced. It's not like, you know, high end melodies and stuff
Right.
like that. It's like
it's
like
trash. It's all
nasty.
guessed.
It's
It's all guessed. Like I put it in there, I'm like, that sounds alright. It
Yeah.
sounds cool.
And I've actually
It's
known
fucking
him longer than anybody
Yeah.
else in the room. I worked with him a couple years ago. Never knew that he did music.
Yeah, we never like we.
I found out through Trauma that he did music.
I was in a cabin south of Dixon, Tennessee, and just pretty much like super quiet, didn't talk to anybody for like weeks at a time. And I was like going through music and came across this hard ass song that was like shit was just playing through, and this hard ass song I was like screaming on regular beats.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that. I
Yeah.
did like basically from like I probably got the distortion at 16. I like got the distortion fully, and like I've been practicing since. So like to come across somebody that just decided to put it on to like music like that years ago was really cool. So I commented on your stuff and was like, "Yo, this is lit as fuck." Like
I just hadn't heard anything like it. Like my biggest influences for the longest time for even beats was like Chelsea Grin, Asking Alexandria. Like
Yeah.
their drummer. Their shit's crazy, bro. Like White
That's what I was gonna say.
Chapel.
The Stepped Up and
Yeah.
Scratched album.
Oh, that was crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, when I started
Shit like
listening
that.
to that when dubstep was big, it was like, this is what you would listen to, isn't
Yeah.
it? Like some
Yeah,
stuff
for
and
sure.
Scratch was crazy. I loved them. They're probably one of my big influences as far as producing, but I loved heavy shit. I wanted to be in a metal band for the longest time, like vocalist. It always like amazed me the way you could distort a voice.
Yeah.
It sounded crazy. And I was like, yo, I need to put that on track. And of course, like so many people have done it. After I've done it, I was like, oh yeah, there's mad people have already done this. But it was a fun experience. Until then, like I still love the heavy shit the most, I think.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. That's cool to hear and everything, you know, like
Get a broad dynamic of sound.
Yeah, make for some cool beats.
yeah,
for sure.
That's what we made. Like Chris made a like trap version of one of our songs because I was listening to the trap because I was listening to the Stepped Up and Scratched, and then I started fucking with something. But he's way better at like doing all the trap shit, so I just like passed it off
That's
to
how I
him.
am. I'm like,
Yeah,
no, it's
yeah.
not bro. It's all good. If
true,
you watched me do it, you'd be so triggered.
Yeah.
Like,
I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I did want to shout out to you. I'm sure everybody here, like the love of anime.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got sausage
Yeah.
curse mark right
Oh
here.
fuck yeah!
Oh,
Hell yeah!
love anime.
Yeah,
amazing.
that's cool. I love just like seeing that shit, and like I want to do. He's not so much into it, but the rest of us are. But I want to do like anime music videos and shit.
I want anime music videos so bad.
I saw one where you had like it was Naruto.
Little A and B.
Yeah.
Just
Because,
kinda
dude,
do it
I
to
used
the
to watch that shit so much when I was a kid. Like, it would be like 3 Days Grace, and they'd have Dragon Ball Z. Like,
yeah.
And I thought that, like, they put it together, and I was like, 3 Days Grace likes Dragon Ball Z. Like, that's crazy. I was like, that's so cool. But, man, that shit when I was a kid was so cool. I would just
It's so funny how it was like made
Still
fun
is
of back then
racist.
too. Like
Yeah.
I got
Yeah,
mad
that's
picked on
huge.
for liking it back in the
It
day.
still
Now it's
is.
making the biggest research.
No,
bro.
there's no way.
No,
I
People
feel
are
like
still
it's
picking
so...
on people.
No, it's got the biggest clout right now, bro. Literally, you go on Instagram, you see someone wearing a Naruto headband.
Yeah.
that has ever come out.
Yeah.
Like I've always fucked with Dragon Ball
Dude.
like super hard.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I want to do a podcast with, because a lot of people that we interview and stuff, they like Dragon Ball, and I want to get like all the bands together, like just nerd out about, because Dragon Ball Z is my shit, man.
Dragon Ball Z is amazing.
Like that's my fucking one.
Let's do a Halloween set. We'll all be dressed up.
Dude.
Oh my god, well, October, dude.
Yeah.
You're already
Yeah,
ready.
You
Get
need
that
to see the
show
spike.
on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that Super
Yeah,
Saiyan.
yeah, hell yeah. Just need to get a shit ton of hairspray.
Blue contacts.
Yeah.
I'll dye my hair again.
But it is funny though, like I do think about that, about all the nerdy shit like is so cool now.
It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's because of like the generations that grew up with,
Yeah,
like they're the big
true.
brothers, so that's what the kids now
Yeah.
were raised with. They're like, oh, my brother like
Yeah.
that, like my older siblings like that, so it's cool now. It's so frustrating.
I just started playing Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, this is so fucking fun. Like, why was this like?
Why was I
Frowned
making
upon.
fun?
Yeah.
Everyone was hating on it.
Our
Yeah.
brothers
Every-
listen to a bunch of podcasts where they just like sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons and joke around all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
That's right.
Damn.
You got
Yeah, you got more.
a couple
Oh
more.
God.
Oh god.
Mine?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You guys are treating me like royalty.
You
Yes,
want
bro.
to Stormy? Little
No.
cast.
No.
Yes.
No.
What?
Oh come on.
Every
cuts
time.
that
It's
in.
gotta do it. Yeah.
I'm done with this one too.
Which means it's good.
Let's go.
It just means it's more flavor.
There's something in
That's
there.
right. Yeah.
More flavor.
But are you still looking to move out to California when?
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Where you looking to go?
Probably like Palmdale. A little, like an hour away from LA.
Nice.
Because I
This is
definitely
what
don't want to live in LA.
Yeah. Yeah. Tim's from Cali.
I was just in
Hell
Sherman
yeah.
Oaks. I just lived there for a little while.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
nice. I
I
like
used
it.
to work with some people who like live there, but
Yeah.
I've never been there. The thing about California, it's so massive, man.
Oh,
you could
it's
fit
crazy.
3 Tennessees in there and keep
Yeah.
going.
Looking at the city,
yeah.
like it just kept going and going and going and going. I personally hate cities so much, and just
Yeah.
seeing that I was trapped in it, it made me like them. I'll be real. Though.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, there's nothing wrong with this shit. I was just small town boy. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm looking at you. They're all looking at me. And I'm like,
Yeah.
eyes on the
Right.
ground. They're gonna hurt
Yeah.
me.
I'm so ashamed.
Yeah, all the time.
I feel you though, man. If you're looking to go out to California, I wildly support it, man.
It's
I'm
beautiful.
looking to go back myself. Shout out.
Trying to make a name for myself before I take
Yeah.
that big step.
Exactly.
So I know that
Exactly.
I can be like financially stable.
Yeah, for
Shit
sure.
like
It's
that.
expensive.
Oh
Yeah, it's like
even
super expensive. Yeah.
more
Yeah.
expensive than Colorado.
But as
Yeah.
we're all
Hell
learning
yeah.
here, right? Like together as a unit, we're stronger together.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Stronger
Sure.
further together.
Shout out to you guys for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
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 This is the first
Glad you
time
guys showed
anybody's
up.
been
Very
so
cool,
good.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Even
awesome.
through this
It's really
beautiful
cool.
weather we've had.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
gorgeous.
right.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
man.
Yo, sunset's worth it now.
Yeah.
Out there.
It was fine earlier, and then just all of a sudden, it just like
Literally.
We were driving,
black,
and he's like, oh,
Just
it
got
would start
shit
raining.
on.
yeah.
I was taking a shower and heard thunder, and I thought there was a ghost in my house. It was that loud. It sounded like someone was just banging on the wall.
Dude. This must be, what is it, Dorian? Hurricane Dorian?
Oh, yeah.
Hurricanes.
It's here.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, we've been through a lot of that shit. Me and Lucid freaking lived out in Florida, Jacksonville, Florida for
Shout out
13
Florida.
years. Yeah, shout out to fucking
Okay.
Florida.
Shout out to Denver. Shout out to
Jacksonville, but
Colorado
Sucks, bro.
Springs.
Get out of here.
but we went through so many freaking hurricanes that we could go swimming in our front yard the day after. That was ridiculous, but those hurricanes
Hurricanes
are
there
there.
at the hurricane.
Yeah, right.
Oh, they love
Bring
hurricanes.
trash
you
bags
come
and a
up from the water, you
skateboard
don't
and
come
just
up
go
from the water.
flying down the road.
Oh man.
Florida don't care about hurricanes.
What's the fuck you life?
Yeah, they're like, oh, all the
It's
tourists are gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like don't houses just get destroyed like every single
They
time?
they must have really good builders out there, I guess.
yeah,
Like,
They got to with
overnight
the amount
shit.
of hurricanes.
Dude, yeah, they got
No
no that
basements.
shit.
Overnight shit, yeah.
Good lord.
They evacuated for this one though. My
It looks
cousin
real bad,
came up
yeah.
for a week.
Yeah, like
'Cause-
right
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah, I had a few friends come up this week actually too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And I was like, what are you doing?
Trying to live.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Crazy.
small.
We were trying to go down there, like
Yeah.
for the storm.
Just you had to go see it.
Just go check
That's
it
how
out.
like Kansas. I'm from Kansas, and like tornadoes
Oh.
and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Small town
it's just
life.
like we would always just go
Small town
chase
life.
tornadoes. Like that was the thing. It's like
That
it'd be
was, like,
stormy.
the
I'd be like, let's
adrenaline.
go.
I know. I feel so bad. I always want to see one. I'm like, oh, I see a tornado.
Yeah.
You know, there's people who's like, nah, you don't
Yeah.
want to see.
Well,
that.
especially here, it's like they'll sound the alarms for nothing. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah,
Little
right.
gust of wind goes by.
yeah, yeah. Like, everybody stay inside.
Fucking sprinkling.
Bro,
And you're like outside the window.
Yeah.
Literally.
I was high as fuck one day, and I remember I like passed out and woke up, and the whole house was empty, and it was just eerie as fucking. It was like dark and gloomy out because there was a storm rolling in, and I like just woke up, got out of bed, and like went upstairs, and I remember I was like, where is everyone? And as soon as I thought that, the sirens went off, and it was like the scariest fucking thing I've ever heard for like a 13-year-old to hear.
It's like fucking Silent Hill.
Exactly, dude. I was like, it's the end of the fucking world. Like, we're all gonna die.
about time.
We're done for.
It's
Like
the
you're on your own?
rapture.
We've
Exactly.
been predicting it for so long.
Straight up out of sleep.
Just smoked a blunt, and I was just like,
This is it.
literally, yeah. I was like, I guess I'm going.
Missed the train.
Light it up, he's ready to go. He's just sitting there, he's like, I'm gonna smoke this till I die.
Take it on to the end of the world.
That's the only way to go.
I really wanted to go into kind of the differences, because with music and starting off, you know, every band has their struggles or, you know, performer. And so I just kind of wanted to hear, I'm sure it's pretty similar, getting people to pay attention, you know, like, what do you do and stuff. But, like, just kind of the differences between, we've never really got to talk to people outside of our genre. So, I guess first thing I want to talk about is SoundCloud, because I know it's, like, a huge thing for you guys.
It's so weird.
Fuck SoundCloud.
Literally,
I
yeah.
fucking hate SoundCloud. It's the worst way to try to get exposed.
Yeah, I was
It's the
gonna
best way
terrible.
right now.
Yeah,
is what's
it's the
crazy.
only way,
Yeah, it's the
really.
only way.
It's kind of like you have to be on Spotify.
You
and shit,
either
like,
pay a lot of money, not even a lot of money. It's really cheap to get on Spotify, but who the fuck's gonna see you on Spotify with like 36 monthly listeners?
Yeah.
you know?
So how does SoundCloud work? Like,
Sometimes your shit just pops up, people repost it, and they like it and shit. It's in their liked.
That algorithm is crazy. They just got some like dumb
It's
algorithm.
fucked up.
Makes you never get heard.
do you know why it's so popular in like your guys' genre?
They're
Like,
basically
basically-
with Apple. It's easy to upload stuff right away.
So
that might be part of it, but also
okay.
like I don't know, like the file transfer is pretty easy. It's one of those things where you can click Facebook and have an account
There's-
right away.
Yeah, there's
Like,
pretty much
It's
no
super
restrictions.
easy.
There's
Yeah,
pretty much
it's
no
super
restrictions
easy.
unless you're literally
Yeah,
uploading
Spotify
someone
takes
else's
forever.
song.
It also kind of popped the fuck off. It
You
kind of
can't
got
do
like
it.
dropped out there in I think like 2014, and then just a handful of like the people I got on there, like Puya, Fat Nick, Suicide Boys hopped on there. Like basically everyone that started off the underground scene generated the listens and all that shit through SoundCloud and stuff like that, and really got it popping. Bones, yeah, just
Shout
that was
out
like the
Bones.
underground home for those types of people. They're like famous as fuck now.
SoundCloud rapper though, you know.
Exactly. Yeah, right.
Everybody's like, oh, you're a SoundCloud rapper.
That
It's
pretty
like,
much means you don't make money. Fuck
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
You're not a real artist.
It's like, oh, it's real like
pretty much what it
nasty,
means.
recorded,
Yeah.
unprofessional. Like it's like.
I mean, that's
come
like
on.
99% of people in music, though. Like,
You're not making money off of it.
Exactly.
You just
So
do it
you
'cause
actually
like
make it.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I have a passion that I'm doing. Like,
Sorry, this is
My
the
bad.
only quality I have.
Yeah.
When I get money from this, I'll start making it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then
yeah,
you start amping up the tracks.
Yeah.
See, it's a good blueprint. Like it's a good upload a idea that you've had in a day, and then you can work on it for the next 6 months and like put, whatever you need to into it, or not just 6 months, but you can replace the file if you.
oh yeah,
Yeah, you can
that's
replace the
what-
file
It's like
yourself.
a progress.
I've
Yeah,
definitely
that's
done
pretty
that a
cool.
few times actually.
I've done like
Ghosteo.
demo, and then I got done, and I just took out
Dude,
demos.
put the
and
album,
released.
yeah.
I don't really see a lot of follows or listens anymore that aren't creators. I think it's mostly creators that are on there these days. People aren't really finding music through SoundCloud anymore as much. But hopefully, but like in a sense, that kind of hurts. And in a sense, it's kind of okay because we're kind of like, I personally, I'm kind of more okay just like posting something that's just going to get like 15 listens in the few days that I'm working on it and like keep listening on different systems
Yeah.
and stuff like that because it's online somehow, but SoundCloud is like kind of a safe space if, at this stage, like where we're not going to get shit if we post shit,
Right.
like
Test the
because
waters.
people aren't
Yeah.
really like watching it right now. So it's all right, it's perfect for what we need.
Yeah.
It's a nice spot to get your creativity up too. Like I have a track that has Pain from Naruto. It has his like speech to Naruto and like the famous
Hell
speech.
yeah.
You know it's
Yeah,
Naruto.
yeah.
If you know, you know. And I have that in there. I've got a few other bits of his too, but obviously, if I were to upload that to like Spotify or something, it blew up, it would get flagged or something,
Right.
because I don't have rights to that. And that's another thing too, is like me as a creator, I can put something out that has that idea in there, and somebody can hear it and be like, okay, it's not like monetized, it's not making money.
Right.
Like later on, if they want to be salty about it, they could do
Yeah.
something. But by that point, hopefully they'd be like, okay, like
Yeah, you can just pay for the
exactly.
rights.
Exactly.
That shit's so fucking tedious too. Like I'm always careful about that, or like I try to be. The Suicide Boys got freaking sued out the ass by Deadmau5.
Yeah.
Fuck Deadmau5. Shout out to fuck Deadmau5.
Yeah, fuck
That's
you,
a fuck-
Deadmau5. 10 seconds worth of just like a sample of some lady's voice like singing in the background on their song Antarctica. They dropped a music video for it, and then they put it on Spotify, and Deadmau5 was like sued.
Yeah.
I want
Damn.
like
that's why
quarter
some-
mil. I don't know how much, but a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
So now they're still like paying that shit off. But literally for something that could have just been like, all right, they used my thing because they thought it was cool.
Yeah.
He was like, oh no, I want money out of it because somehow someone else's
Yeah.
voice is fucking mine.
Yeah,
They could have kept
Deadmau5,
working
like,
together. Like,
Yeah,
he's still making
for
music,
sure.
they're still
Exactly.
making music.
Yeah,
Now
so
they're gonna
that-
be salty for
Some more exposure.
That's another thing I
Like
want,
how Deadmau5.
wanted to go into is like collaboration between like your guys' genre. I feel like it's very community based. Like,
Yeah.
and that's. Do you feel like just getting it out in the open, I guess, do you feel like there's hostility if somebody starts being successful and people want to tear them down, or is it kind of like you're all kind of working together to?
Well, Saya puts it really well whenever it's like, if I'm gonna come up, I'm bringing you guys with me, because like it's like you're saying, it's that community thing. Like we're all like in it together. We're all trying to make something great, like a band. It's
Right.
It's like this is our band. This is our collection. This is us. Like if one of us starts popping, he's gonna bring us on, because we're all we're musicians. We all collaborate all the time, and it just comes naturally to it, and it's like a brotherhood,
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm playing a show in China next week, then Red Drop CLIQUE.
It's like shout out to China next week.
That's
Yeah.
what it's gonna be.
Shout out to China.
It's not.
Shout out to Shine.
It's not gonna be Lil Stormy plays a show. It's gonna be
Yeah.
the whole crew plays a show.
Okay, so since the beginning as well, we've kept links to like on SoundCloud, to go back to that and kind of integrate it with your current question. Our profiles, you're allowed to put links there, and so we've always linked to each other's profiles. That way,
Yeah, I
if one
saw
of our
that.
profiles pops off, then people
your
are gonna
bio,
be like,
it has
hey,
the links.
who are all these people, and listen to our music.
And then
you know?
find those different features on their pages or
I think mine's
whatever.
like the most unhelpful. I don't think I have features from any of you guys. I'm the one that's always doing beats. and
We got
features.
that
Yeah.
three-way. We got that
Oh
three-way.
yeah,
So
I'm sending you something today.
we got
have
some
a three-way
unreleased
song today,
shit.
too,
Yeah.
But all right, we took a little break, had some beers.
Yeah.
We were talking about community, which was actually just displayed out there.
Hell yeah.
you guys.
That's what I'm
Community
talking about.
beers. Yeah, community beers. Yeah, fuck yeah. But yeah. So I guess just going back to the community aspect, and bringing each other up. I feel like that's one thing that metal doesn't do as well as like trap, hip hop, all that stuff. There's a lot of collaboration between all your guys' stuff, and that's
There's so much love.
It would honestly be really cool to
There's
see
so much
bands
love.
do that,
Yeah, for
though.
sure.
Like,
Yeah.
literally be like, all right, let's sell it. Because obviously you can't really know how long a song is going to be until you get it all the way through and done. But, like, let's say you get fucking, and this is the only two that come to mind right now, but if you were to get, like, fucking Falling in Reverse and Escape the Fate to do some shit, that would be pretty fucking badass.
that would be nuts.
That would be
Or just get
fucking
Ronnie to do a
sick.
song for Escape
that
the
would be
Fate.
dope.
Last song
Yo, the
to
MIDI
end them all.
Affliction,
Yeah.
the MIDI Affliction did a song with Puya that was pretty dope.
That's actually
They've
sick.
got a video for it.
No, that
I've
was,
never heard
that
that.
was
Well, see, like,
Volumes? Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Volumes, sorry.
See, I feel like when you get higher up in metal, like they'll start kind of, bringing in other vocals and stuff. I feel like at the local
once they
level,
tear their
Local level for
chords.
sure.
local level, I feel like there's more. I don't want to say like animosity, but just like you don't want people feel like if somebody's succeeding, they're not. Whereas
Yeah.
with like hip hop and everything, it's not so much like that.
I
Yeah.
feel like it
It's-
might just be a little more different with metal bands too, because like your feature's gonna be just the vocalist, you know?
Mhm.
Like you guys
Or
can,
like
I mean,
a
you could all go
guitarist or-
in,
yeah.
do you have
You're
like
not
3,
gonna be able to,
like 6 guitars, you know?
Yeah.
4,
That
it
would
just
be
depends.
dope.
It would be awesome. Somebody needs to
would
try
be-
that for sure.
that'd be
but,
sick.
Like, we're just on beats, so it's really easy
Yeah.
for somebody, like,
Yeah.
somebody's just playing it in the
Boom.
background, you know?
And then someone jumps
What
in.
was-
Yeah.
Someone hops in.
Pretty cool about like we're talking about features and stuff, but after Bella died, I kind of like reevaluated my progression towards like getting big or whatever, and I like I put out on my story. I was like, yo, if y'all keep supporting me, I'm wanting to like put my fucking music or money out from music to like establishments and homes and stuff like that for like kids that were like
Yeah.
her that were kicked out on the fucking street and on meth and shit and didn't
Yeah.
have anywhere else to go. And Stormy actually hit me up and he was like, yo, I've had people go down that road too, and I swear, like, I promise, like, we'll be doing shit every, like, free songs every day.
Yeah.
If you want,
Yeah.
just to
That's
get
how we
to
started.
that point. And that was our, like, tactic.
Yeah.
Like, we're in this together, man. So that's kind of where, like, features can be, like, you sound dope, or you're like, yo, I fucking see you, and, like, I feel you.
Yeah.
So, that's a big thing for me, is just, like, finding those people that have that same, like, mentality of just, like, where this is all kind of
Sympathetic
heading.
vibration.
Yeah, shout out to Trauma. He's the reason why I do music. He came to me one day and he was like, "Hey, I got a beat
Yeah.
by X over here," and he's like, "Let's hop on it." And I mean, I wrote, put down a verse, and I was like,
was nice,
fucking
too.
thank you, bro.
Hell yeah. Well, and that's one thing that I got from that interview, and you were talking about, and I know you're all like that, and I feel like we're like that, is you write to kind of be the voice for the people that, because everybody goes through kind of similar experiences, you know.
Yeah.
There's always the pain and shit in life, and it's like you write to communicate your story, and you want somebody to latch onto that, and that's why when somebody's like, hey, you saved my life, or, you know, like, that's the shit that we're all kind of looking for, is because
so
you know,
surreal.
It's crazy when it happens.
Yeah,
It's surreal.
it's
I've
like,
had
oh, wait.
messages. I've
Yeah.
had messages on Instagram
Yeah.
where they message me and they say, "I can't, you know, I listen to your song every single day.
Yeah.
It saved my life." And I'm just like, I'm just a dude who lives in
yeah,
Tennessee.
yeah,
You know, I'm a normal guy. I
real.
make music in my basement.
right.
You know, like,
Yeah.
how could I save someone's life?
That's kind of like, that's how, you know, like, I feel like us with Avenged and stuff, and how it's like, I guess for me, I want to impact somebody like I was impacted, you know, like,
Absolutely.
this is why I do music, and I want them to pursue their dreams, because
Yeah.
they, you know, they hear it and they're like, this is amazing. It's so good that it makes me
Yeah.
want to, you know, like, pursue
That's
that.
how I feel
Yeah.
about Lil Peep.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Lil Peep.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. Segue.
I did not make music. I wrote music. I never recorded music until I heard Lil Peep in like 2015. I've loved his music since 2015. I still love it to this day. But whenever I heard his raw emotion in his voice and how he was talking about this shit that you don't talk about,
Yeah.
he was like so open about it, but it was kind of like his diary. So I kind of wanted to put everything that I had out there
Yeah.
and impact people the same way that he did, you know? Like, just kind of tell your story and hope that people can understand
that's
and
for sure.
flow with it.
Because people are going to be able to relate, because as much as we think that we're like super unique, it's a lot of experiences are, you know, really similar.
It's kind of
and-
shared, yeah. But
Yeah.
there's beauty in that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't fucking talk about it, and it's
Yeah.
crazy. Like, I even have problems, like, talking about shit that's on my mind, and it, like, fucking eats at me, but, like, I
Comes out to the
can't...
music, though.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what I tell people. They're like, "Oh, this song's so fucking sad, oh, whatever." I'm like, bro, I had a smile on my face the day I wrote that song.
Yeah.
Like, that's just a part of me. And if you think that my music's just sad, and you think that I like want to die all the time, then you're not fucking listening.
Yeah.
And I could care less. So
Yeah.
like,
Well, that's a good thing about like having your boys and stuff too, is it helps you kind of, you know, like once you have that friend group that you can really communicate, then it also can come out through the music. And
yeah, absolutely.
you know.
Me and Stormy were sitting down and we busted out Angels Cry, and I was like, man, we never make a bad song together. Like, it's all just raw
which I
as
wanted to
fuck.
shout out. Angels Cry was the one song you guys got on Red Drop CLIQUE.
Hell yeah.
When's-
Yeah,
the
first
yeah,
song on
yeah.
Red Drop
First Red Drop
CLIQUE.
CLIQUE.
It was
Yeah.
sick.
Oh,
First
shit.
song with the tag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when's more coming?
But we have another one called I'm Alright, that will be dropping pretty pretty
This
soon.
weekend.
This
Yeah,
weekend.
that's gonna go on the
It's
Red
gonna
Drop
be
CLIQUE.
it's
alright.
probably gonna be a Red Drop CLIQUE exclusive. It's only gonna be on that page.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hell
we'll
yeah.
repost it and shit.
Right, yeah,
but
for sure.
We're
Yeah.
definitely not gonna post it on our page. It's a Red Drop CLIQUE exclusive.
Yeah.
But
You
we
have to
made
go
that
on
song
there
and we
to
were
listen
like,
to it.
okay, well, damn, like we just topped that one. So
Yeah,
it's really
man.
cool just to like build off of each other's past and stories and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
I'll fucking hear his stuff and like be driving in the car and start fucking bawling.
It's
No,
so
damn well
crazy.
knowing that my verse is after and I'm like fine after, like, cause I've fucking been there and so it's
Yeah.
like, oh, normal, but like to know, and there's one other person that's made me do that, so it's real rare, but like to have a friendship and then be like, fuck, me too, bro. Like, and we don't talk about that, but like that shit is powerful because
Yeah.
he hops on something, throws something out, I'm like, oh damn, I forgot about the, like how that feels. Like
Yeah.
it kind of pulls it out of me for me to put out, and then pulls it out of him for him to pull out if it's vice versa or whatever. So
Yeah.
What really kills me is that when people listen to my music or anyone's music who's related to the genre, they kind of think to themselves, oh, they're promoting drug use, they're promoting all these terrible things, but it's not promoting it, it's showing you, I feel like I fucking suck because of this stuff, so
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
You're
like,
right.
it's like
We're feeling
I do
shitty.
a lot of drugs. Don't do it because this is how I feel,
Yeah.
and you don't want to feel this way.
That's great.
But people look at it like,
I want to.
oh, you popped a
Yeah.
pill, now you're telling other people to pop
Yeah,
pills.
right.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Pop pills. I just sip some lean. It's like, nah,
They just-
that's the mind numbing.
They don't
That's-
listen. A lot of people are really
Exactly.
close.
That's a really
minded.
good point to make. Hell
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you say that thing, and then the lines afterwards about the bad things that happened when you did that.
There's just such a
Yeah.
stigma around half those words now too.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well,
So
drugs is a big word.
Drugs
Drugs
is
is
a
a very
big
big word.
You say
That's
pills,
like,
and
it's a
that's whenever a lot of
powerful
people
word.
just shut themselves
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
But people don't understand that that's addiction is a real thing.
Yeah.
And people look at addicts as junkies, these
Right.
nasty people. I mean, that's
People
that's
making
when
your
you
music,
know, like
don't you
that's-
pop in your head
That's
too?
like, you know,
You
if
know
I
what
were
I'm
to,
Yeah,
saying?
these junkies know
yeah,
what they're talking
it's a
about.
stigma. It's
Yeah.
just a stigma.
For sure.
People really just think that if you're in this genre, you're immediately a drug addict,
Right.
and you're a terrible
Like a
person.
drug addict,
Yeah.
sad, and you just want to.
You know?
kill
It's
yourself.
also kind of like vice, or it plays on both ends though, because like it's just so crazy to see how accessible those types of drugs and how common those types of drugs are nowadays. That's
Can
like,
give from the
oh,
parents.
fucking, especially here, the fucking South is bad with
Yeah,
it.
it's rough.
Yeah,
It's
for
bullshit.
everything.
I like.
Focus.
If I could smoke weed every day, I would. But some days, yeah. But
Shout out to the South.
Shout out Southside,
Someone just pulled up.
Someone just pulled
Tennessee.
up right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pulling
But
up.
That's
yeah,
Tennessee
man,
right
it's
there.
true. And-
They're gonna knock. The South is coming for us. They got guns, I promise.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, that's so true, and that's just a thing. I feel like not only with music, but so many things can be taken the wrong way when somebody's trying to say something, and I think that's just kind of the world we live in because of the internet, and we're still getting adjusted. I mean, the internet's
Yeah.
20 years old, and like,
Yeah.
you know, it's
the biggest
really
thing.
big in like the
crazy.
past, 10 years, so it's still really new. And so we haven't separated, everything, and to get people to listen,
I'm talking to a guy in Nairobi, Kenya. That's like a rapper. That's actually like pretty good. Like you can tell he doesn't have the greatest equipment, but it's if he like had a little bit better mic, it would be like up.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
so cool
like
to run into people
good
like
shit.
that.
dude,
Oh,
I
like
know
the
that's the
miles
cool
and
thing
miles
about,
of stuff.
about the internet.
Yeah,
is,
for
like,
sure.
My first start, I never even did them just because finding out how they sounded, I was like, ooh, they're real bad. But I had, sorry.
Throwing shade on these
never
people,
really.
man.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Shout out
Oh,
you
those
guys.
songs
I
are
hope-
those-
On camera too, man. You're fucked.
I'll bleep it out.
You're fucked.
But it's crazy that people that are in fucking London are up at when you're sleeping listening to your shit, and then you wake up in the morning and someone's like, yo, we need to hop on something, I fuck with your shit. I used to get videos of these two kids, X Up, shout out to X Up. And they would start like skating groups. They had like the whole skating clique, and they would literally just like sit at the skate park and listen to my music all day. Like,
Dude, it's
and
crazy.
So it's crazy to be like, that's happening on the other side of the fucking world right now. So the internet is pretty damn crazy like that.
It is.
It's a link between us all.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
For better or worse.
crazy,
It's
man.
got its pros and its cons, but I think the pros are there, you know,
Definitely.
especially creating music these days.
Absolutely.
Like just the
Like-
reach that you can have and hearing, you know, other people and
It's like a fungal neural network.
Yeah.
In like another sense. Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
something
Like literally fuck SoundCloud, but I love the internet.
Yeah. It's like
I love the internet.
Yeah.
I love SoundCloud in the way that it connects me with a
Right.
lot of new
Yeah.
people. I wouldn't have met Trauma if it
Yeah,
wasn't
really.
for SoundCloud.
Yeah.
I literally followed him, and I followed him on Instagram too.
Mm-hmm.
And he hits me up, and he's like, "Dude, I fuck with you so much." And he where were you?
Colorado at
He
the
was
time.
in Colorado, and he didn't know that I lived in Tennessee. But
I remember him
whatever,
telling me
yeah.
he lived in Tennessee.
And then he said, "Bro, you live in Tennessee?" He said, "I'm coming back in a week. I'm only gonna be there for like a week,
3 or
maybe,
4
like,
days.
3 or 4 days, not
He
even
was
that
coming for the
long."
funeral.
And I was like, "Okay, man, yeah, let's meet up whenever you get here." And we didn't get to meet up, but I messaged him. I said, "I'm sorry, dude, we didn't get to meet up." And he says, "No, it's okay. I live here now."
Yeah, like
He said,
that.
"No, it's all
That's
good. I live here now. We can hang out whatever."
Yeah.
It could change like that.
Yeah, suddenly we were just like, man, if you want to stay here, fucking stay here, and like we live together, and it's just like
Yeah.
we've got plenty of space. We fucking love having
Yeah.
you around, and like
What's up? Man?
look what happened. I mean,
Dude, it's wild. That's how Chris and I met, was pretty much through the internet. He's from New York and I'm from Kansas.
Holy
and,
shit.
and,
Damn, that's a gap.
Big
Yeah.
That's a gap.
Yeah.
You guys like both moved to Tennessee, or
So
what?
like we won this contest, and that's how I learned about him. And I saw his guitar video, and I was like, this dude is
fucking shredding.
fucking.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's
I was like,
Tearing it up.
I would jerk him off so
Yeah.
hard.
Holy shit! Okay, we've got
Look
a
how
little
good
bit.
it is.
Bro. We're taking a break.
But yeah, so but we just, you know, we became bros, and we were just like, fuck it, if nothing's going on in our hometowns, let's move and start a band. It's like that wouldn't have been possible without, you know, the internet.
Yeah.
You know, and then
You don't even think about it either.
yeah, it's
Desperate
wild.
people siphon into the same exact places, like trying to find a
Yeah.
fucking handle.
I didn't know this fucking guy until a week ago.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Dude,
When I came over to your house, and you were like,
Yeah.
and he just went, "Stormy." It was so funny, man. First time I ever met you.
Hell yeah, dude. I bet I was listening to you for a couple weeks before that. Definitely.
Dude, my music's shit.
Dude, you. Why would you do that? No, you're.
My music is shit. It's so crazy. I don't know if you guys get this, you know, like with being a band, and it's kind of like a team effort.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever you make your solo music, like rap music, and you're done with it, I fucking hate every song.
Oh, dude.
I fucking despise my
Every
song.
bit of it.
I'm like, dude,
I don't even listen to my music. It's
that's why it's hard for me to make a song alone. So like if I make a song with him, I kind of look at him and I'm like,
Yep.
but then he goes, "Man, that's hard." and then you're like, "Oh yeah, that is hard." Yes, you go back and you listen to it and you're like, hard. Him and he's like,
It becomes a lot of
Get
yo.
down with it.
Let me redo my verse, bro.
Right? For real, though.
Dude, yeah, I feel like that's just music in general, like when you're writing. Well, and it's because you're constantly progressing, too. You know, if you look at the shit you put out 5 years ago or what you were writing when you were a kid, yeah, you're just like, this is shit. And then in 5 years, everything you're stoked on now is going to be shit.
I've probably deleted all the original shit everybody got onto.
Well, the thing is that you played one of my songs in the car, one of my really old ones, the Waste of Space one.
Yeah.
He played this really old song called Waste of Space, and I guess it was like on a shuffle or something.
Yeah, it was on a shuffle.
And it sounded like dog shit. It was terrible, but they were like,
And that's
they were
one,
getting down with it. I was like, what the fuck is going on right now? This is bad.
yeah, that's one thing I always try to keep in mind, too, like with our shit. Like, our EP is old as fuck for us now. But, like I still try to promote it because I'm like, it's new to everybody who hasn't heard it. Which is like 99.999% of the population.
To go back to SoundCloud, like that's honestly a really good thing about it is like you have it there. It's been tested for a while by like a few raw listeners, and some people are like, wow, this is fucking awesome that you don't know, and like still listening to you today, and you can like. And so we can go back and amplify EPs and projects that we can actually pull together, even though we made the songs one by one. And we're just like, you know, we did this today, we posted to SoundCloud, and then like a week down the line, amp it up a little bit. A week down the line, add this thing in the back or whatever it is. And then you can pull songs that are like all the same producer or all the same like vibe, and make just your own playlists. And like if it's
really cool.
the same across the board, then that's like a project you just made you know about. I've been working on this project with this guy I can't even name, ICVN, by the way. Shout out to him. He lives in Russia, I believe.
God damn.
Shout out Russia.
Shout out Russia. Russia's playing my shit more than America, so I might see you soon.
That's what I'm saying.
Overseas plays.
I have literally like 700,000 fans in Russia.
Dude,
but no one knows me here.
Well, Russia's big too.
Yeah, man, they fuck with me in Russia. I'm about to go.
They got some hard
play
shit
show
too.
in Russia.
They got some dark heavy shit.
Russia's real Russian metal bands are great.
No, Russian trap, bro. They're
scary as fuck.
Yeah,
I bet, dude. They like their vodka.
No, man, they down a whole bottle before they start recording.
Before each verse they record.
Do you not?
Do I not? No, I smoke a pound. Smoke a pound.
Russians can't smoke. They can't smoke.
Yeah.
No, man, they can't hang.
They can't.
I'm sorry.
You can come to the show. Yeah.
Where the fuck were we? What were we talking about?
But this is more fun.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about so Russia.
Oh yeah. So
ICVN.
I was working with ICVN. He sent a bunch of. Okay, so he's gone through a lot of names. He was Trippin' Main 666, and then just Pretty Scarecrow for a while. Now he's ICVN. Not sure what he's gonna be next, but he's a sick ass producer. I have a feeling that this guy isn't quite who he says he is, and has a little bit of wiggle room to be like, because nobody gets as good as he is, like with just the few tracks that he has out. So I think he's like made side profiles and like says he's from Russia when actually it's Baltimore or something.
Yeah, right. Fuck yeah.
And these tracks he's released, like I've done them one by one for the last few months. And with like, I don't know, maybe being inspired by the samples that he threw in, I called it like Drive and Crash and all these different like ones that DREAMON and different like names for the songs, and then at the end I pulled a playlist together of all these ICVN tracks, and it's like 7 songs, and they're different. They're like a lot of them correlate with a drive, and so I've got this song called Drive on there. I've got a song called Crash on there. There's like car sounds and stuff like that, and it's dope to listen to on the road.
Fuck yeah.
And so like I just pulled it together and put it in a playlist called Shade, and it's like kind of all coincides because it's the same producer and like the same little time span that I was just like, okay, this is what I have. Like,
that's dope. That's actually an awesome segue. I wanted to talk about like producers, because I know you guys kind of like. Well, it just kind of like bounces around, you know, like you. Besides you being the greatest.
No.
Yeah. I know.
He's the best producer we got.
I'm the only producer you got.
But I know you.
The odds are good,
right?
Dude, I can produce.
I mean, you can produce.
Yeah.
Don't look at my armpit.
So like,
Sorry.
but I know that's a thing where you kind of like work with other producers and stuff too, which is
so in a metal scenario that's kind of unusual, because metal it's usually one producer for like a full length or like an EP or something like that.
I would prefer it that way.
Really, one for like a big amount.
I think like the problem with nowadays is. These guys constantly comment how like my vocals are integrated into the beat, and that's because I make my own beats too and record all my own shit, so I can sit there and chop like individual things, take individual like tracks out that I don't want, like give it room if there is. While when they record on it, it has to be the way that they got, the WAV file or MP3, whatever they're recording over.
You don't have all the stems or
Yeah.
anything like.
So that definitely has like an advantage. I would definitely rather that. But these guys, like the names, I feel like it's a name thing now. Like, like I was telling one of you earlier, like I got a beat from a producer that was really like big to me, really important to me, and that was amazing. But it was all just in the name. Like it wasn't the. I'm pretty sure it's like way over EQ'd, mad distorted. It doesn't even sound good, but the name on it, I was like,
Right.
I gotta have it.
Yeah.
That's
You know
kind
what
of
I'm
cool.
saying?
That's cool.
And it's all about the name. That's what's kind of weird. Is like the artists themselves, like the producers themselves, are becoming more artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And-
crazy.
Yeah, I feel like even that's coming through in metal, with like producers becoming
social
as
media,
popular as like
Well,
artists.
what's so
That's
crazy? You
bad.
see that shit on YouTube all the time. Literally, you can look up anything, type beat, and there's a producer trying to sell his shit out there. And the thing is, most of them do free for nonprofit.
Yeah.
So you can
Just use
download
the
that
name.
beat and use it on SoundCloud where you don't get paid at all. You can't put it on Spotify, they'll fucking sue you.
Yeah.
But if you put it on SoundCloud and you use it and you make a fucking banger with it, then you have the money to pay for exclusive
Right.
rights. And then you can put it on Spotify.
That's cool.
And then
That's
you
kind
make
of
money.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's like the whole rap
So can you-
community is a community.
Can you
know?
monetize SoundCloud at all?
Yes.
You
Or-
can when you hit a certain amount. You gotta get
Like
into the
YouTube.
thousands, and then you gotta be getting a certain
You
amount
gotta
of
be
plays
big.
per week. And so
Per
we have,
week?
yeah. And so
Yeah,
our
that's a
friend
lot.
Dreary
It's
right
like
now,
it's like Twitch.
he has his brother as his main producer, and his brother is a YouTube producer as well. And so he's pretty fucking big on the social platform. Works with a bunch of like Peep's old friends and colleagues, like 500,000 plays on his beats. And so he's pretty fucking big. And so Dreary works with him, and so Dreary will make, I'm not sure how much he makes, but he'll get like a check or an email from SoundCloud saying like you made this much this month, like here you go. And so that when you hit that certain amount, they start adding on like certain types of ads, and people pay for you to for them to add their ad to your playlist or
Right.
some shit just so they can put it out there and be more annoying about it, but you get paid from it. So
Yeah.
that's like really the only way you can make a currency, which I don't know how much you can make off of that.
Yeah.
And that takes a long time.
But Spotify's fucking cool.
Yeah, Spotify.
Like if you
Spotify
put
will
your
hook
shit
you up,
out on
yeah.
Spotify, you're making money.
Yeah.
Well,
Like, cause they'll put you in
Well.
someone's shit. Like, you know what
Maybe
I've
you
noticed?
guys.
Well, what I noticed is that even like a really old shitty track of mine hit somebody's playlist somehow. It hit like 900 people's playlist, and that 2 months, I made a good amount of money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it was good.
Streaming, see, here's the thing that like, a lot of people talk shit on streaming, but, like, people are listening to your music for
It's the
free, and even
future.
if you're getting 0.003 cents, it's like, you wouldn't have got that shit
Exactly.
anyway, and it's cool.
I'll never forget the first album I put out. I got like $13 total after like the first
You were
year.
so fucking proud, weren't you?
I was, bro.
I was too, dude.
No, because
I
that
was
$13
too.
is like a half cent a play or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, that's a lot of plays.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
literally
$13,
0.0013. That's
Yeah.
what you get per play. I'm not
Yeah.
kidding.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
With
I had like
14.
6,000 plays in Lebanon in one day. I was freaking out that day. I was like, no way, Africa's blowing me up right now.
I've never
Dude,
like
Mexico fucks with me heavy.
The only problem I have with Spotify, and this is the nerdy part, is you can't track people. I track people that listen to our shit.
yeah.
You can't track people
I
with
don't like
Spotify.
that.
That'd be so cool.
So
I'd
like you
love
can't
it.
like if they listen to your music, you don't know who did. You can't retarget them and be like, "Yo, come to my show."
Oh, like as a
or
person.
something. Well, not like knowing their name, but just like being able to be like, whoever listened to one of your songs, you can't retarget them and be like, "Yo, come to my show.
Like
I'm gonna be in
That's
your
why I
town."
love
yeah.
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
Like
Okay,
that's
that
a
makes
reason
sense.
why I love SoundCloud
Absolutely.
because it's so
True,
easy
yeah.
to mention
Absolutely.
somebody
That's a
who
good
listened
watch
to
right
your
there.
song and be like, "Yo, I have a show coming up this weekend. You should check it out." They comment back, "Hell yeah, I'll be there."
Yeah.
Yeah.
SoundCloud is so convenient when it comes to that.
It's so good to being connected to like your listeners. Anybody that plays, even if I see they played like one time, I'll literally message them and be like, "Yo, thanks for the play. How'd you like it?" Like,
Yeah.
That seems
Just ask 'em.
tedious.
I mean, but it gets
It's
them
work.
there, though,
That's,
you
yeah,
know.
that's
It's work.
work.
It gets them there.
Intimate.
Probably keeps them
Yeah.
That's definitely.
That was
It makes
my
them know that you're a
biggest-
person. Like so many people get
Yeah.
stuck behind the persona that they are. Like I was stuck behind like an old name for the longest time. I was like, "Yo, like, you're not cool doing that shit. Be yourself." And that's
Yeah.
literally when I decided to change my name to my name. I was
Yeah.
like, "You're not cool. Just be yourself." Like it
Fuck
worked
yeah,
out.
Yeah,
You know?
Fuck
for
yeah.
sure. That's one thing we always try to follow is like I don't want to pretend like we're like I always try to be somebody's talking to you, not the band's talking to you, one person from the band's talking to you. You know, like somebody from our band is talking to you, not like Archeons is a you know, like this mysterious thing.
We're all talking.
Yeah. It's like, yo, this is Trey, what's up? You know,
I always
or
loved
something.
learning that about like bands too. I remember watching old interviews, and I would, like Asking Alexandria, number one. I would sit and watch Danny. I would sit and watch Bruce, Cam, all of them. I would just sit there and be like, yo, like learning their names individually is what I liked.
Yeah, dude.
And then,
I think it was Ben.
Ben.
Do you remember the song "A Prophecy"?
Of course.
Dude, we remember
That
the
guitar.
song. Yeah.
I fucking love it, and that's
That
who
shit
spoke
was
to
so
me in
good,
that song.
Yeah.
Was that guitar?
Yeah.
Man,
Oh yeah.
that
Well, that's
guitar
how
was
that's how we
fucking
are.
good,
Is
man.
I know you guys are very lyric based, but we're very like
I would say I'm
instrumental
way more
based.
instrumental based myself, actually. If you listen to my shit, it's so simple, but I feel like the production of it is the only thing that really catches people, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it's all simple and everything, but the music-wise, how it's composed,
Yeah.
I think that's super important.
Like
Definitely,
instruments has always been incredibly important to me, and
Absolutely.
and then after 6 times of listening to the song, I'll be like, oh, this is what the song's talking about. Yeah. But I'm trying to get away from that because I know like people really connect with lyrics and stuff, and most people aren't guitarists or
I mean, it
they
makes
care.
I feel like that's
yeah.
really fading away, though, in such a sense. Like,
The respect for
melodies,
instruments.
melodies and stuff, like, just those kind of things are coming in so much more. I won't even listen to a track if it's just somebody spitting flow anymore. Like, I just don't want to hear it. I don't have time for it, too, if it's like 3 minutes straight. That's one thing, too, is like a 3-minute song I just don't want to listen to. It's so weird.
Yeah.
'Cause I remember growing up listening to like loving every second. Now I'm
Yeah.
like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, I'll fast forward through something if I like what I hear.
Yeah.
Just like little melody. I'm like, yeah, cool. If I don't, then
Right.
trash.
Yeah.
But I don't
True,
give
yeah.
people a chance, though. It's so bad, too, because I know there's so many that are.
Which is
excellent.
wild,
yourself.
you know, especially because we all do music, but I totally get it, man. Like, I'm the,
It's an attention span thing, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
It is, yeah.
And it's just, you know, there's only so many notes, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that was
It'll
one
be-
thing too. Like, I hate that when people get like inspired, you know, like people are frowned upon for kind of like interpolating stuff too. I know like Juice WRLD just got in big trouble for that with I forget who it was, but I was kind of mad at the whole situation because I was like, he interpolated like he was inspired by you. This guy was big up. He was inspired by him, you know, and that's what got him taken down. It's like, yo, I was inspired by you. You were a big reason why I'm even making music right now, but you're worried about the money and everything.
Yeah.
And sounding like somebody has become like a big issue lately.
Yeah.
Or I
Yeah,
wish
for
that
sure.
wouldn't be an issue. Like, if I want to sound like somebody, it's like, yeah, like, shouldn't you like that? You wanted a similar
Yeah.
sound. Like, you listen to the band for that sound, you know? I feel like there's, like, not so much genres anymore as there's just, like, a specific sound and style of production.
I wanted to go into about like suing people for sounding similar.
That shit's
That
lame.
happens,
like,
bro. That
was
happens so much.
It was
Some
Katy
bullshit.
Perry was the first one.
She's
No,
a
she
bitch.
wasn't. No.
Well, I mean like the first big one that just came
I'd
out
say it's
recently.
been very mainstream ever since Robin Thicke.
Robin
Yeah.
Thicke.
Yeah.
Ever since that, I feel
He
like
got
it's
trashed on for that. Fuck
Yeah.
no lies.
but like lately it's been Katy Perry and
and then
there was another stupid one like very recently. What was it?
I think I know what you're talking about. I read it on
Was it that
Instagram.
Juice WRLD one?
Oh my
oh,
god.
it was
Sting.
It was a chick.
Sting
Sting?
and Juice WRLD, yeah.
Juice WRLD was Sting.
Oh
dude.
really?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
Juice WRLD, that was the one I was
Lucid
talking
Dreams.
about.
Lucid Dreams.
He sued him.
heard of
How
it.
that little rip?
It was for like, literally for that.
Yeah,
He
that's
sued him
it.
for like 90% of everything
It's
he made
a
off
lot.
of it. And that's the biggest song he
yeah.
has.
90%.
90%.
God damn.
That's
Oh, it was Lady Gaga.
What?
Oh, yeah, with
fuck!
Bradley Cooper.
I can't use that Lady Gaga sample.
No, she
Careful.
was getting sued for
Yes.
sounding like some unknown guy from like 2013, but it was a simple chord progression. It's like if you're, you know, there's only so much that you can do.
It was the vocal melody, and they used like 3 notes.
Yeah.
And that's just
And
honestly,
it
that's
was the
fucking
same thing,
desperate.
but-
That's pretty damn
Yeah.
desperate to be like that eager to fucking pounce on something like that. Like,
Yeah.
do you have enough money already doing what you already do, and you
Right.
didn't pay attention 5 years ago to when that guy did that or whatever? But like the fact that you're like the whole Dead Mouse and Suicide Boys thing, like he was the fucking god of dubstep and shit and like actually popped off. And so that guy has millions and millions of
exactly.
dollars.
Right, yeah.
But he's like, that's mine, so I'm just gonna take that.
It's
large
crazier
percentage.
when it's like the bigger artist suing a smaller artist.
That's
It's
why
like
it's fucking
recently-
bullying.
Because like the shit that the Katy Perry and the Lady
recent
Gaga,
ones,
they
yeah,
were the
it's the other
smaller
way.
artists trying to sue the bigger, and I bet it was just for exposure. They're
I have
like,
a good
if we
example
sue
of
them,
that,
we're gonna get
actually.
it.
So in A Day to Remember, they have a song called Mr. Highways, thinking about the end, and you use that
great
the
album.
same great album, but
Banger.
you use that same thing at the beginning of it, but you move it up a step. It'll sound completely different, but you can still use the same pluckage.
Yeah,
And it's just like it's that same thing, but up a step.
Right,
and
in a different tuning.
It sounds
Yeah.
different. Like,
Right.
and so, what would happen if they would notice that if you use that? It's
in a
like,
different key.
Yeah, it's different key.
I feel like
but
it's very
it's-
genre specific because the recent ones are like pop
It
and
is
rap.
pop. Yeah.
But as far as like metal and rock goes, you don't really ever hear
Metal and
about
rock,
it,
yeah.
you know?
I've never really heard of it.
Yeah.
Problems with
There's
It's
so
Exactly.
much shit. You
Exactly,
can do,
because you
though.
just move
Yeah,
it.
because even with like
Change the tuning.
Wage War and Architects, you know, like that was very
But it's a
Shout out
style thing.
Architects for sure.
Everyone's ripping off architects right now.
But I mean, they're not like, hey, fuck you, we're suing you. You know what I mean? Like,
No, exactly. Yeah,
even
that's what
look at
I'm saying, it's
Avenged
genre
with Hail to the
specific.
King, you know, and Metallica and stuff.
they
It's not like,
They didn't rip them off though. It was just
bro.
Lil Peep used a lot of Under Oath back in the day. Like,
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to hear. I mean, I grew up on Under Oath as like the first hardcore band, so like
Yep, Under
to hear like the intro for Too Bright to See, Too Loud to Hear or something like
Yeah.
that is like.
See, it's cool, like, when you sample and shit. And, like, I just feel like, you know, musicians should support, like, hey, they enjoy your music.
Yeah. It's
Here's
like
this.
you would
If
not-
especially if it's a sample. If it
Yeah.
was somebody, like, covering your song, we were talking about this, because we just covered Peace of Mind. We got, like, copyright
You
on
got-
it.
But
Somebody
not-
else just
But
not in a
not
bad
in, like,
way,
a,
though.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they have the rights for the song and you cover it, so they get to choose what happens with that, whether it's monetized or taken down. Which to take it down is stupid, and I think that's what you guys are talking about with like Suicide Boys and stuff like that. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's like it's just more
Because
exposure.
it's more exposure for the big
Demonetize it, but
artists.
don't take it down. Like if people
Not
are already
even
enjoying
demonetize
that,
it,
you know,
yeah.
and that's like become a part of somebody. You know?
Yeah.
I think
It's weird to take it
the
down.
funniest thing I saw after like learning all about that, I was on Spotify for a minute, and I woke up one morning and my notifications say Suicide Boys released a new playlist, and I click it and it says songs will probably get sued for, and it's all posted there. Like,
Hell
I don't
yeah.
give a fuck.
Hell yeah.
Because
Yeah,
that's,
that's
like,
awesome.
Let's
double or
fucking write a
triple.
copy.
Exactly.
Yeah, shout out
So-
the boys for sure.
Yeah.
Is that something you guys are like conscious of, as far as like in your style goes
Not
with
me.
using like
Fuck no.
samples?
No.
We're pirates.
Yeah.
If I, man,
Yeah.
if I hear a song that I like
yeah.
and it has a sample of someone big, fuck it, man.
I feel like I'm more
I'm
conscious of it
feeling
as a
it.
producer.
I'm
As a
feeling it.
producer,
Yeah.
okay.
I think
that
I
makes
give
sense.
them one track and they even put like the Joker in front.
Yeah.
Of something. I was like,
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, yo, like don't put that.
You're like,
on,
oh.
I was like, don't put that on anything like.
No,
mine.
I
the
even
brakes,
have
pump the brakes.
my first song I ever freaking made has Steamboat Willie whistling in the background, and so I was like, yeah, that can't
pitch
go on
down.
like Spotify or anything like that, just because I'm
Yeah.
not trying to get fucked by Disney.
I have a quote by Juno
Fuck you up.
from the Juno movie. You remember
Really?
That Bad?
Yeah.
That's from Juno. That
Really?
beginning, that's from
Oh
Juno.
my God,
I never got
that's-
in
Well,
trouble
our
for it.
boy Jeremy Blount,
Night will.
he talks about how he'll sample shit, and he was like, if it ever gets big enough where the artist like knows, I'll be able to pay for it. You know, like,
exactly.
That's true. That's
That's
So-
kind of how I look at like YouTube producers or anything like that. How we're kind of talking about SoundCloud, like fuck it, like throw it out there, and if it blows up, then you have the money to make
Yeah.
back for it.
Type beats are real
even-
toxic though.
Yeah.
I remember ASAP Rocky. He actually he went online on his last album and he got a type beat. It was an ASAP Rocky type beat, and because it had his name in it, he took it, went to court with it, and got it, and gave the guy no money. But it was just because
That's
that
so
had his
fucked.
name. So literally, any of those artists, because they're using his like brand, you know,
Uh-huh.
they can just take that for free if they
Damn.
really want.
That's
so that's one
fucked
thing
up.
real shiesty about it.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
type beat. I've never uploaded a type beat.
Yeah, I
Never
kind of
will.
like that on the artist's behalf, though. That's kind of cool. Like,
That should be a
like,
compliment,
okay, you want
though.
to use my name, like,
Right.
like that. I don't know. I don't know.
Just depends on how hungry you are at the time.
Exactly.
If you want to be
Right.
salty
So
about it.
what is
Yeah,
the
it should
type
be-
beat?
Like if your favorite artist was like Lil Wayne back in the day or something, you really wanted like that old school sound, you would just type in like Lil Wayne type beat, like dedication for Lil Wayne type beat, and somebody made songs that sound very similar, or like beats that sound very similar, and it sounds just like that. So they'll upload it as like Lil Wayne type beat, like even the name of the song
sense,
too.
Yeah,
like if you had one, to
you hear that shit all the time. Like if like South Park does that with, so there's like the Game of Thrones episode, and they kind of like tweak the Game of Thrones, you know,
exactly.
So you recognize
it's
it.
like it's like that type of beat, but
Dragons are coming.
melody. Yeah,
But whoever uploads it has like the rights and everything.
Whoever upload, it's like that person, and it's not even interpolated, sampled, anything. It could literally be their creation, but because it has that person's
that
branding
style,
on it. I think I learned that from, it was Kanye West too. Like he was sued for his own name. Like he couldn't get out of contract of his name. He had to literally he couldn't put Kanye West because that was his brand. And that was owned by his label. He had to put like another name on that. Yeah.
Kanye.
So just as far as like you going by name, exactly. Something.
That's actually a cool thing. Would you guys sign to a label like in this? Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
No,
I think
Cool.
that's
similar.
universal.
It's kind of
I'm
what
gonna
we're
be independent
creating on
for
our
life.
own. is
Right,
our
yeah,
own,
your own
you know.
label. Yeah, for sure.
for life.
DIY, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's always
I'm
gonna
probably
be
the only
Red
person
Drop
here that
CLIQUE.
might.
Yeah.
That's all it's gonna
I
be,
probably
man.
like
And
the
I don't
only
want to
person here.
trademark Red Drop CLIQUE.
Yeah.
I want it to be just a bunch of fucking people making music
Yeah.
and loving what they do.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't.
That's cool,
I'm
yeah.
not even worried about the money. I just really love making music.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah, for
I
real.
just wanted
I
to
don't
suck
care
in
about a
people's head.
label.
I just want to. I want somebody to feel like
it is
good.
on the books. It's all about like what it is in the world, you know. And so like so I used to go by Lucid. I introduced myself as Lucid because that's more common to me. That's my rapper name, you know, like whatever. But I've had like 3 since that. Right now it's Dreamon if you look on the profile, but there's Lucid X file right there, and it's like we switch all these like things as we're finding our way.
Yeah.
What was this starting to talk about?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. That's all I got the podcast. Thanks everybody for watching.
Okay, I figured it out though. So like, but these, I don't know, like there's a fucking 100 different Lucids now, but I was only one when I started it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, that was an original ass like idea I had. Then fucking like 2015 or something, I was like Lucid. That was like lucid dreaming. I love lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
It's like awake dreaming, and I would think about when I was awake, like how real is this? Like, could I wake up here?
Right.
Because it's kind of like that, and so it's like so it was like that was natural, but then. Like now you look up Lucid and there's just like it's a there's so much Lucid like he just said Lucid Dreams by Juice WRLD. That's like the top thing that comes up if you search up Lucid. And so I've changed my names. Now you search Dreamin' and I'm at the top. But like you've just gotta roll with the punches. If you don't put yourself out there, then you can't keep your shit. It doesn't matter if you trademark or not. It's about like if there are 5,000 people in Europe that know Lucid as the guy from down the road or in London or something, then I'm not gonna make it as that, you know. So
I couldn't
it's
use
like,
my last name because there was
wild.
a producer that had like 10,000 followers. I
Yeah.
was just gonna use my last name as it, and I was like, motherfucker.
That's crazy.
I was thinking.
I like yours now though.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
I was thinking as we are kind of closely starting to run out of time, if I may, you know, with saying kind of bridging this all together to kind of bring the podcast to a cohesive kind of slow pause here. I do want to say, as we're talking about lucid things, or we're talking about dreaming, we're talking about all this stuff that makes me think lucid, dreaming, requiem for a dream, requiem music. We have all these dreams we're chasing here, guys. But as we're on here on the Archeons Archive podcast, we are coming close to time here. And we do want to say that as we're becoming awake to things around us, Archeons fans, come awake to the links down below for all of these fantastic artists here. We have enjoyed them right here on the Archeon studio. And gentlemen, any last things you'd like to say to the fans? Quick things there.
Everybody say Red Drop CLIQUE.
Red Drop
CLIQUE, keep your head up.
Shout out to Black Sheep. Shout out to Lowlight.
Shout out to China.
everyone.
Shout out to Russia.
Shout out to
Shout out Young Vortex.
Cortex. Absolutely. All the shout outs in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish we
pop the
could
VR.
fucking. Our camera's about to die, is why we always have to cut off after like a certain point.
I feel
Because like there's so much more shit I want to talk about.
That's a
but-
good
Wait, that's a good way
Then let's talk about it.
the time together.
Come back
Yeah.
next
Word.
time, bro.
Yeah, dude, for real. Because like I want to talk about like going into like monetization of like how you guys do all that shit and like and your genre and
That was
everything.
just
So,
starting.
dude.
That was
for real.
just
Yeah.
back.
But
hard
fans,
to release
we
songs
will
together.
absolutely have them back again. But all these exciting things are going to continue. We'll have to have that on the next episode of the archive. See you next time. Thanks for
Yo.
tuning
Till
in.
next time. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Oh,
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.